AskReddi by Psychology Warfare. To those who don't get drunk, why not? I quit smoking cigarettes, and if I have more than 2 drinks I usually break down and smoke. Same here. Around the second drink I lose just enough impulse control. I wasted half my life getting drunk. Getting to experience and remember things sober now is pretty cool. We are the lucky ones among the unlucky ones who get stuck with this shit. Can't take the hangovers anymore, man. Wastes a whole day afterwards, and you're usually picking up the pieces from the night before anyway, which makes it even worse. I used to never get hangovers, then I hit like 30 and man, it's the fucking worst, and basically don't drink anymore. I have a nightmare that my kid needs me and I'm unable to respond due to drunkenness. I watched a film and driver's ed about a drunk father who ran over his own kid on Halloween night. It terrified me. Deleted. And because I don't know if I could do it again. I spent my 20s drunk. That was enough. For me it was my 20s and 30s. I tell people when I was drinking, I had more than my fair share, haven't had a drink in over 23 years. I come from a family of alcoholics. I don't drink because I would rather not tempt fate. I figure it's better be safe than sorry. My paternal side of the family tends to be more functional in their alcoholism than my maternal side, and I'd rather not place my money on which side of the spectrum I'll end up. I'm depressed and I'd much rather have the benefits of my antidepressants than alcohol. I basically drank because I was depressed and was more depressed because I drank. Vicious cycle I had to get out of. Deleted. I'm so proud of you. I don't like the smell, the taste, the feeling, or the hangover. Once I hit 30, my hangovers became absolutely crippling anxiety attacks that lasted for days. It's just not worth it. Dad wrapped himself around a power pole and my brother is on his second DUI in like a few months. Fuck alcohol. Dang. Sorry about that. A. I don't like losing control. B. Money. C. Migraines. So many reasons. I also get tired, want to sleep if I sleep. Because if I taste alcohol, I will have 40 beers. I will not sleep, just keep drinking until I pass out after about 30 hours of being trashed. I, too, do not possess an off button. It's just that simple. I'm on antidepressants and when I get drunk I want to die for the next 3 business days. Hi all. I received a message from Reddit Carrera sources saying a concerned redditor reached out concerned about my comment. This was mostly a joke, and I am doing just fine. I am mentally ill, yes, it's the middle of my worst season, winter in the prairies, but I am thankfully and gratefully taking medication. Sertraline gang, anyone? Basically I'm on an SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. I've been on them for 3 years and they very much saved my life in the pandemic. The point is, there are tons and tons of side effects I experience from drinking, including my sertraline counteracting and increasing my already active anxiety and depression. Not cool. No thanks. If you take any regular and prescription medications and drink alcohol, please do your research on how this can affect your mental health, specifically, but physical health too. Days-long anxiety is never worth it. Excludes weekends and holidays, lol. I hate the taste of alcohol and I don't particularly enjoy the feeling of being drunk, either. It's funny, the way some people dislike the feeling of being drunk is the way I hate the feeling of being stoned. I feel like I'm trapped inside a body I can't control anymore. I stopped drinking over 2 years ago to help support my husband who is an alcoholic. Me stopping made me realize I had alcoholic tendencies. I come from a family of alcoholics, so this cemented the reason to stop for good. I can hang out with lots of people that drink and still have fun. It's just not for everyone. It's honestly scary how fast it can happen, especially with family history. I have a lot of alcoholics in my family. I started having a few drinks at night a few times a week, and then all of a sudden I was downing half a fifth every night. Within like a month. And even though it was only a month that I drank like that, it was already hard to stop. I don't allow myself to drink at home anymore. Because I'm 104 days sober. Deleted. It just doesn't seem fun. I can have a good time sober. And then drive home and wake up feeling good. That's my same mindset. I'm kinda at the age where so many people at university are drinking and partying all the time and it just doesn't appeal to me at all. I tried it, and while getting a bit tipsy while belting out pop classics can be fun, it's not something I would take any further. Getting blackout drunk just frightens me. I don't care if I seem boring, I know how to have fun in lots of other ways. Was beaten by a drunk as a child. My mother almost died in a drunk driving accident and I was the sole survivor of a wreck that killed my 2 friends. I hate alcohol with a passion. Fuck man, that's rough. Hope they're doing okay now. Sorry to hear about that. It's enough to be buzzed, I think. Agreed. A slight buzz while making dinner is great. Getting drunk just makes me want to vomit. I like being in control. Exactly. The idea of not being in full control of my actions terrifies me. People say you're in a drunk is an unfiltered version of you, but my personal walls are part of what makes me me. Take those away and that's not me anymore. It's not worth the money. When I used to drink I'd easily spend €50, €100 and I'd only not to remember half of the night anyway. I've never understood how people can afford it. Money is tight enough as it is. As I got older, the thrill of drinking lessened. The waking up with hangovers was not fun. I was a bartender for 20 years and saw how people acted when they were drunk, and it's not an attractive look. I love waking up with no hangover and feeling good in the morning, and the feeling of being drunk in general is just not pleasurable to me. I don't trust myself and I'm afraid of what I might do if I lost control. I'm mostly worried about ruining relationships by letting my inner thoughts run loose. I'm kinda a dick. Have you ever heard the saying? You don't get in trouble every time you drink, but every time you get in trouble you've been drinking. No, but thank you, that may be helpful. Why not? I like my reality straight up. Also, as a retired DJ, I saw way too many stupid, drunken assholes to want to be one. That was the biggest eye-opener for me. I started dating a girl on the other side of our small city. Walking through the nightclub section of town late in the evening while sober was a wild experience. Got young kids, gotta keep my head on a swivel. Deleted. I can't drown my demons, they know how to swim. Can you feel my heart? I love that song. Because it messes with my circadian rhythm and I'm told old for that shit. Recovering alcoholic. Clean for 5+ years. Do not need artificial party enhancement. Crazy enough already. I'm hilarious when you're drunk. Someone else here said, alcohol hides the fact there's nothing happening. I found if a party's good, a show's good, or a game's good, alcohol is unnecessary. I don't like the taste of alcohol, so I don't drink it. This is the biggest reason for me, it just doesn't taste good. Beer tastes like liquefied fizzy bread, wine tastes like either old socks or the smell of the bad kind of mold on cheese, and alcohol itself reminds me of cough syrup. Plus, I don't like how being drunk feels and I'll be damned if I waste any of my already limited time getting drunk or nursing a hangover. The only kind of alcohol I can just about stand to drink is dessert liquors, like Kahlua or Baileys. but only if they're mixed in something else non-alcoholic, or in a dessert. There's this Kahlua cake, https://www.lifelaveinsugar.com/Kahlua-chocolate-poke-cake/ that I absolutely love, and you can just barely taste a hint of alcohol. It gives me anxiety. A drink past 6 PM means I'll be up all night, heart pounding. Same. Wasn't always like this though. Do you happen to know what causes this? My parents are addicts. Their friends were addicts. My friends were addicts. They are in ruin, rehab or dead. I've never tried anything but will still have to suffer the consequences of that environment for the rest of my life. Stay strong. May all their mistakes serve as an example to save at least one person. Meh, did that when I was younger. Deleted. This is a great way to put it. Maybe a couple of times a year I'll get somewhere past buzzed, but it's pretty rare. I had one very bad hangover that lasted 3 days. Never again. My last bender was the day a good friend died from COVID in 2020. That year fucked with everyone obviously. He died. I drank until I couldn't consciously feel the pain even though I was sobbing. For 3 days after I felt awful, hated myself, and my friend was still fucking dead. It was completely useless and I stopped. I have a severe phobia of vomiting. Afraid that will happen if I drink too much. Emetophobia gang unite. I love drinking, always have, and always will, but what I don't love is feeling like crap and completely wasting a day or two laying around hungover. I once heard drinking today is borrowing happiness for tomorrow. Kind of corny, but I'd rather have slightly less enjoyment over a long period of time than a blast for a short period and waste the rest. Hopefully that made sense. Next to the fact that I don't like alcohol, what's the point of getting drunk? Most people get annoying, inappropriate, and just downright assholes. And most don't even remember the night. I prefer to enjoy my night and have control over my actions. I'm an avid, recreational athlete. Drinking excessively destroys recovery and performance. Priorities. Not to mention it's a waste of calories. Would rather eat something nutritious or delicious than waste the calories on alcohol. Alcohol has horrible effects on the body. Also I might end up addicted and drink myself into alcohol poisoning. So I'm okay with never drinking it. I turned super red and can't breathe through my nose lolation flush I guess. Alcohol usually tastes bad. And even the good drinks don't taste as good as non-alcoholic drinks. Alcohol has a negative impact on general health. Being drunk is also kinda lame and alcohol is often used to disguise the fact that nothing interesting is actually happening. And X200B. The way I see it, instead of altering my mind state to trick myself into thinking I am doing something fun and interesting, I could instead just do something fun and interesting. They don't need a reason to not drink. I don't because of family trauma. Tastes like shit to be honest. Don't like the feeling. I got tired of waking up the next morning needing stitches or having to repair relationships. Other than the taste being bad, I have a stomach issue that alcohol exacerbates. It slows down my digestion even worse than it already is, and the alcohol will just build up in my stomach the more I drink until I eventually get sick.